Welcome to another video. Into this video I'm going to be working on the 1971 Challenger. It's outside, but it's a pretty nice day, so I'm going to actually start to getting the engine ready to take it out. That's going to be the first step here on this project. Stay tuned. Alright, so first thing we have to do is I'm going to take the engine and transmission out all at once. And so first things first is under the car here, this rust bucket under here, but I'm going to remove the drive shaft. That way I can take it out of the manual transmission. This is a 4-speed car. So I'm going to start with that. That looks like hopefully those bolts will come out of the flange there on the differential, but probably like a 1/2 inch. And then drive shaft should come right out. Once I get that out, I'll probably unhook the linkages from the shifter. I'm gonna say probably take that little cross member out as well, and then from there we'll go to the top of the engine, or the front I guess, and then start doing the motor mounts and all that. So there's not too much really to remove, so I'll get started with these, and then once I get those bolts loose, I'll show you guys if they came out easy or not. And look at this stuff here. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it's had I don't know, those bugs that make like mud things. Gonna have to take that out of there. I think this is battery cables that went to the trunk at one point. I'll probably while I'm down here try to cut these out, just remove this. As you guys saw from the first video, the trunk floor is non-existent anymore. But regardless, with the new engine on this car, I really don't think I'm gonna keep the battery in the trunk, and if I do, regardless, I don't think this cable's gonna probably be used anymore. So anyways, I'm getting kind of sidetracked here. Let me get this drive shaft out, and then we'll see what we do next. Alright, so I'm almost able to, I just put a wrench right through the hole here so it would stop here on the top, and I was able to get these bolts loosened up. The 7/16 wrench fits kind of loose. It's probably just because of the bolts are old, you know, the rust has made them a little bit smaller, but they still, I was able to keep enough in there to get it loose. So I'm gonna just finish taking these off, and then the drive shaft should come right out. One thing, you know, I recommend if you're doing this at home, but what I'm gonna do is put a drain pan here, because a lot of times when you take the drive shaft out, oil comes out of that tail housing of the transmission, so just that way I don't put it on the ground. And then regardless, I'm probably gonna see if there's a drain plug in this transmission and just drain it. That way it doesn't, when I'm tilting it to get it out, it doesn't spill oil on the bottom there. Okay, so the bolts came out just fine. Got the little holders here. Not bad. I got the drive shaft out. That U-joint's definitely really old. There's no grease on it, but you know, if I'm gonna reuse that drive shaft, then I would definitely put a new joint on it. I'm getting ready to pull it out of the transmission, so I got my pan here. I'm gonna go ahead and slide it out. I honestly don't anticipate oil to fall out of there, I guess, but I guess you never know. So it's just let's see what happens here. Nope. Well, yeah, look at there. And I'm dropping oil on the cardboard here from the end of the drive shaft, so but that is why I got the ring. So I'm gonna get a rag to clean this off the cardboard, and then I'm gonna move forward to the shift linkages here and this cross member, and then draining the oil off the transmission. Alright, so I'm removing the shifter here on top. The trick with removing the shifter is sliding a feeler gauge right here on the driver's side between the shifter, and there's like a little clip here. I mean, this hasn't been off in years, so I sprayed some WD-40 right around and just had to work the feeler gauge. It's easier if you work it kind of on one end, and once it's down about 3/4 of an inch or so, tilt it back so it catches the little tab, and then you start pulling it. So there's this little notches here on the shifter where you can kind of pry on it to help you pull it up, but it's going to be pretty tight if you haven't taken that off in a long time. So I'm gonna finish pulling this off, and then I'll go underneath and keep going. Alright, so underneath here, I took off the bolt here for the transmission motor mount, or transmission mount, and I'm taking the 4 bolts here for the cross member for the transmission. Once you take really any of these bolts, the transmission is going to want to sag, so I got the jack kind of lifted it up just for a minute so I can take the bolts out. You know, that's tranny mount's pretty destroyed. And then I'm gonna go ahead, and this is a manual car, so I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the manual linkage, clutch linkage. That should be all I need to do down here, besides moving to the front and disconnecting the engine mount. So I'm gonna take the last, I already took the nut off that bolt, so I'm just gonna pull that bolt off, and then I'll go ahead and move to the linkage and then the motor mounts, and that'll be it for under here. And then we'll go to the top, start getting the engine ready to jank it out all at once. I'm not sure if I can take the engine out the top of the car with the headers on, so if I have to, I may have to remove the headers from the engine and then just, you know, take the engine out by itself. But then once I get on top, I can see if that's gonna work. Alright, so I got this is the motor mount bolt that goes all the way through. Here on the driver's side, it was from the back forward. On the passenger, it was the other way, from the front backward. So got these out too. I also unbolted this chain that was spooled from the frame into the block. So you know, like Toretto said, this probably had so much torque it twisted off the line, so that chain kept, I guess, the engine from lifting off the motor mount. I'm gonna assume that's what it's for. I got everything pretty much on the bottoms disconnected. I did take all the bolts for this exhaust manifold or this header off because the I don't know, torsion bar goes kind of in between, so I don't think I can pull the engine out with the header on there. So I took it off, and I could probably wiggle it down the bottom, but I'm just gonna wait till I lift the engine up a little bit and see, you know, just kind of maneuver it out. I'm gonna take the radiator, the hoses off here next. I might actually just go ahead and take the bolts off of this exhaust manifold on this side, just because of the gearbox and all that stuff on the way there. The shift linkage, I couldn't see clips to really take the linkage off of there, so I unbolted it from the frame. Once I move the engine, maybe I'll see if I'm able to unbolt it from the engine transmission side. So I'll have to kind of keep an eye on that once I'm lifting it. But almost time for me to get the, you know, the hoist, you know, we get a chain in here and start pulling it out. So I think I am gonna take this bolts off the exhaust manifold or this header, and then finish taking off the hoses here, radiator. I'm probably, you know, I will not use this radiator. It's been open for all these years, so I'll go ahead and recycle, even though it looks like it's the factory one. You know, regardless what happens, I'll probably just get like a new one or aluminum one as a replacement. So I'm gonna take this off and then get ready to pull it out. All right, so took the upper radiator hose off, and I don't know, it looks like a bunch of broken nuts. So a bunch of broken nuts all in here. I power washed the engine. I don't know if you guys, well, if you want to watch the video, it's the other video where I power washed the whole car, and there was a bunch of stuff in here. So there's still some kind of nuts in there, but definitely, you know, probably the inside of that water pump is full. Well, there must be a thermostat in there, but definitely would want to get a new water pump if this is going to be rebuilt or anything like that. So just thought I'd show that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this bottom hose out, and then unbolt the radiator. Oh, that's the stuff that came out of the bottom radiator hose. So definitely rust, which, I mean, the outside of the car has rust, so I'm sure the inside is gonna have some rust in there too. Surprisingly though, there's oil in the engine, so that's a good thing, I guess. We'll have to see what the inside of that looks like. But so I decided to take the intake manifold off and just grab the hoist from those bolts there. I was trying to get bolts here on the front, but those holes are pretty, you know, they have rust and stuff in there, and so instead of getting like a tap to really fix those, I'll just take the intake off and use those bolts, 4 bolts on top, to attach my engine leveler and pull it right from the top there. Got the carburetor off. Actually, it's not too bad, but it will need a rebuild for sure. So I already got the other 4 bolts. I'm just gonna do these 4. Take this one out. Okay, so got the intake out. Looks okay. I mean, I don't know. It's a nice Ellerbach intake here. It's a Torker 383 that's on there. Like I said, the Holley carburetor, I mean, it would need a good rebuild, but it's all right. I put all the bolts in a little bag there. Kind of ran out of daylight here. Sun is setting back there, so I dropped the jack. That's why the engine's gonna tilt back, which is okay, because I think, yep, in that angle there's the transmission will clear. So next, really, at this point, it's gonna be to take it out. Hopefully I have enough room to pull it out here. If not, then I might take some of this front accessories off of there, like the front pulley, water pump. That'll give me about 4 inches more. You know, really, as long as I can get off the mounts, I can probably start pulling it up. I may need to take the hood off, so I'll need some help if I need to do that. But other than that, I think that's gonna be it for this video. Tune in for the next one where I actually pull the engine all the way out. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. Any questions, comments, leave them below. We'll see you in the next one for more 71 Challenger content.